What is up? What's up, gang? What is up, gang? What an effing journey it has been to get here. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I recorded this episode already. It is Tuesday night. It is the night before I'm supposed to release a podcast episode. And what happened, I go to edit my video and it's in slow-mo. Not really sure how we got there, but it was in slow-mo, so like I really did try like fixing it, but it just was not fixable. Also, it stopped recording, obviously, because when it's in slow-mo, it's like 3 hours now worth of footage when in reality it's only like a 10-minute video. So I did have to record. Let me speak. Hold on. I'm running off of like 2 cups of coffee or two. I'm running off of 2 lattes and 3 hours of sleep RN. Anyways, I am having to re-record the episode. So this is me re-recording the episode. But yeah, I'm hyped. Let's just talk about like where I've been. What's been the move? Like I did take a 1-month hiatus. The episode that was released 2 weeks ago now, I guess. That was pre-recorded. That was recorded in like May. But I took a 1-month hiatus. I went back to the motherland, y'all. It has been 13 years since I went home to Guam, which is where I'm from. And so yeah, it was really nice to go back. I went back for 2 weeks to go attend to some family matters and some personal things. But it was really nice. It's always nice to be back home. It reminded me of a lot of things that I'm going to talk about in this episode. But yeah, I took a month hiatus, kind of just reset my life, I guess. There was a lot going on personally. But yeah, went back home for 2 weeks. I did a low com trip to Japan, which I'm also talk about. But yeah, let's just kind of get into the episode. It's episode 10, which you know the vibes. Every 5 episodes, we get a little solo moment. So here I am. But yeah, let's just kind of get into it. Let's talk about going back home and kind of like what it made me realize. It is probably gonna get a little emotional. I might start crying. Who knows? I'm kind of tired right now, so like emotions are at a peak, you know. But anyways, going back home is really nice to just kind of like be surrounded by family. I do have family out here, but like it is really like a completely different vibe when you're back on the island. It's just like oof, like you kind of like, you know, you do get homesick when you come out. Even though like I did grow up out here in the States, but like going back to Guam, especially when I'm older and like I remember things now and like I can experience more, I guess, because I'm older. It is like I did get homesick when I got back to the States. But it is really just like a completely different vibe. Like family like really, really is everything, like genuinely. And it's like nice to kind of reset and like have a moment of just kind of enjoying each other's presence. And it really just really makes you, I guess, like the slow island life that like is present back home is like it really, really makes you kind of just enjoy the small things, like the uncles telling stories and like having those moments with your cousins where like you're laughing so hard your stomach hurts and talking about things about like when you were younger and reminiscing. And it really does, like, you really just kind of reset and learn to enjoy the smaller things. And especially because like out here in the States, it's very much like go, go, go. Like you need to have your life figured out. Like you should be having you need to make money, like your job, you need to work on getting a good job and going to school and like the grind is crazy out here compared to like back home really. And Yeah, it really just like when I got back, I just kind of sat back and was like, I really need to just slow down and enjoy my life. Obviously, still have the motivation of like wanting to get somewhere and do something, but also just kind of sitting down and enjoying these moments I have like with my friends and family while I still have them. And I think it definitely made me a lot more appreciative for like everything I have. Is that the word? I think that's the word. But like I really like genuinely appreciate everything so much more since I came back from Guam. Um it also really made me like appreciate my friends. Growing up, like I have such a huge age gap. Let's get into the backstory um of where I'm going with this. But I guess growing up, it was really just like me and my family, especially because I have such a huge age gap with my siblings and a lot of my cousins. And so it was really just like me, my mom, my dad, and like my uncles and my grandparents and my aunts and all of that. And so, like, when you grow up around really just like older people, you really feel like the support and like the love and the care. Like, they really care about you, especially when you're the only kid. There's just like a genuine love there for you, and like you really feel it, and you really grow to appreciate it, especially when you're older. Sidetrack, but like when I had my grad party 2022, when I graduated high school, like I don't think I've ever felt so loved, like ever. Well, I mean, like I have, but like seeing like how many people genuinely like raised me, like when they say it takes a village, it takes a village. But like seeing how many people like raised me and like loved me and cared and still care and love for me now is just like crazy. Like there was so many people there, and like it was crazy to walk, like to talk to them, and like they tell stories of when I was younger, things that I don't even remember, and like people I haven't seen in years that like still, check in with my parents on how I'm doing. Like it's just like mind blowing to even think that so many people care about you, right? Um but moving forward, because like my bond with my family and like the love that they have for me and the care that they have for me is so strong, it's always been very hard to find friends that are even comparable to my family. Like genuinely, it's like really hard to find friends who care so deeply the way that like my family cares. And going back home for the reason that I was going back home, and like having these people check on me and like call me, the tears are coming. Having these people check in and like call me, and like people I've only been friends with for 5 months maybe, like at my new job, like having them consistently like check in on me, check in on my family, and like call my family, and like the friends that I have for like a while, like who knew why I was out there, like them checking in on me and like texting me and making sure I'm okay. Like those are the people that I will remember when I look back on that era of my life. And like it made me realize that I have built that. Like, oof, oh my god, I'm about to, like, this is embarrassing, but like the tears are coming. Um, like coming back home, I came back home alone. Like my family right now, even they're still on Guam. So like me being here alone, it was really hard because like I really missed my family, but like I really genuinely had people that like would come and see me every day and like really cared about me and like cared how I was doing, and like them like checking in on me and like wanting, I keep saying like too, I need to chill out. um but them checking in on me and wanting to hang out with me and truly showing me like so much love, it made me realize that out here I have built like this community of people that care for me so deeply the way that my family cared about me, and that I am able to now like I guess do it on my own without my family just cuz I have built that community. Obviously, my family is always going to be there, but kind of as you get older, you kind of start building your own family of people and your own community of people that are going to have your back the way that your family does. Again, it's really hard to even compare to my family, but like looking around and seeing all these people who like really check in on me daily, or even if it's not daily, like every time I see them, like they ask, it's just like they care. And it's nice to have these people and to have known that like everything I went through with like past friend groups and past friends, even just like old relationships I've had with people, that I have people who have my back and who care deeply about me. And like really appreciative of it. I don't want to get too into it because I don't want to cry so hard on camera. But I really do have like such a deep love and care for these people who have reciprocated that back in like a way that I'm eternally grateful for, and in a way that it's kind of even hard to describe. Um but yeah, I think coming from back home and missing that, and then realizing that I have that, like I do have that, and like they're right in front of me, and not that they fill the space of my family, but like they just take care of me just as well. I obviously still miss my family deeply, like y'all. Oof, sidetrack also. On that plane ride home, like taking off from the Guam airport, I was sobbing on the plane, like crying. I have a picture. I'm not going to put in the picture, but it's me like crying. Like I was sobbing. I couldn't stop fucking crying. Ooh, I'll watch my mouth. I couldn't stop crying. Like I was crying. But yeah, I guess that's like kind of where I'm at after coming home. Oh, hold on. Let me like retrack. That I guess that's just one of the things that I realized, that made me realize. One, coming back home, or going back home, going back to Guam, is that like I really, really do have family that care so deeply for me. People that like I don't get to see. Like I don't have the opportunity to see them on the daily, but they still care so deeply about me and love me so hard. Crazy work. And it did make me reminisce on like seeing like 200 people gather to celebrate just me graduating high school. Like insane work. Coming back home, kind of just being alone for like a few days, and then realizing that I have a family out here. Like I do have a family out here. It's like a community of people that I've built, and the circle that I have created, and they have such a deep love and care for me. And it's really nice to know that I've come so far, because truly, when I say I've always struggled with friends, not in like I choose bad people to be friends with, but it's just like it's hard to get to that level of connection that like you're my family. Like it's really hard because it's hard to compare. It's hard to even be comparable to my family. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So grateful for my friends. Like genuinely, they know who they are, and they, I hope, know how much I love and care for them. But yeah, I don't want to get too deep. Like I already like have shed some tears, and like I already felt myself getting choked up. But yeah, crazy. Like like younger me would really have never thought that I had that I would have the friend group I have now. Just because like when I was younger, I either had really fake friends, and I'm talking like middle school, elementary school. Like elementary school, I was bullied. to the point where like I didn't have friends for a minute. And then in middle school, I just had friends that really could not care if I fell off the face of the earth. And then high school, I found like a good group of people. But, you know, like when you graduate high school, it's not always guaranteed that y'all are going to be as tight because you ain't walking down the hallway with each other anymore. And then, you know, I had some falling out since high school. But now, like, if I put all of my friends in one room and I looked around, I knew that there is not, pardon my language, one fake bitch there. Like, everybody there cares deeply. And I care deeply for them. Like, if I put all of my friends in one room, there is not one person there that, like, I wouldn't jump off a cliff for. You know? That kind of bond. So hashtag grateful. Hashtag grateful. Moving on though, another really cool thing that I experienced was going to Japan. Let's talk about that. So once I found out that I was gonna have to go back home, I really made it a thing that I wanted to go to Japan, even if it was just for 24 hours, just because one goal that I had set for myself when I was younger is that I wanted to do a solo trip before I turned 25. There's like a list of things that I want to do before I turn 25. One of them was go on a trip by myself out the country. I wanted to do a solo trip. I don't really know where this idea came from. I think I had a friend that said the same goal, and I was like, that is an amazing goal. I also want to do that. I also think that it was heavily inspired by Anthony Bourdain. I love that man. Anthony Bourdain, I miss him dearly. Like, truly, like growing up watching Anthony Bourdain is life-changing because it really just, you have such an appreciation for other people's cultures. Like, genuinely, like when I went to Japan, like the one thing I wanted to do was like talk to the locals. I don't really know Japanese, so I couldn't exactly have a full-on conversation. But what I did was I was really asking them where I should eat because, again, similar to Anthony Bourdain, like I love a good meal. Like, if I could do what Anthony Bourdain did, which is like talk, smoke, and eat for the rest of my life. Well, that's not all he did, but like that was what his show was. His show was to talk to people of the culture, to eat their food, and then he just also happened to be a smoker. And if I could do that for the rest of my life, I would, genuinely, because that is something that like really interests me. But moving on to Japan. I really did feel like Anthony Bourdain walking around there, though. I was kind of like feeling like the locals a little bit, but don't want to get too ahead of myself. Let me just break down the trip, I guess. So I left Guam and I landed in Japan around like maybe 9:30 p.m. and then I settled into my hotel around like 10. And once I got to my hotel, I settled in. I like kind of just chilled out for a bit because when I say customs is like crazy, it's like I don't really know how to describe it, but it's almost as if you're being like herded like cattle because you go through this line and then there's a big group of screens where you scan your passport, you take your picture, they scan your face, and then you have to fill out your thing, like your declaration or whatever. If you don't have the QR code, you have to fill it out. And then you have to redo that later, again, when you put your bag through. But it's just a lot, especially after a long day of traveling, it's a lot. So I settled into my hotel a little, and then I went to Lawson, which is, there's two, 7-Eleven is like the main thing I feel like that everyone talks about when they go out to Japan, which 7-Eleven is really, really cool. But Lawson's is also really, really cool. And there was one in my hotel, so I walked down there because they're like 24 hours. And I went in, I got this katsu like plate. I don't know if it's I still haven't Googled it, but they did have spaghetti a lot with their katsu. I don't know if that's a thing, but it was spaghetti and rice. But I got a little katsu plate, I got a little fruit cup, and then an onigiri, which is like, those are the three main things that I really wanted to eat in Japan, that and ramen. The fruit cup is insane. I've never had such an amazing apple. Like, the apple in there, I dream about that. I want that. I need that. I have to have that in my life. Yeah. That was a lot. I'm sorry. I got so passionate about that. And then I went to bed. Now, ooh. Here's where the story gets good. When I first was in Japan, when I first landed in Japan, I thought that I was really only going to be there for like 6 hours, because I landed at 9:30, get to my hotel at 10. My flight was originally supposed to leave at noon. So I was like, I'm going to catch the 5 a.m. train, which is the first train that goes out in Tokyo. And I'm going to just explore what I can before I have to come back and go and get ready for my flight, board my flight and everything. And so, hold on my back. Oh. And so, thinking that my flight was departing at 12, I wake up at 3 a.m. to get ready, and I go catch the first train out to Shibuya. I catch the first train to Shibuya. By the time I get there, it's probably like 5:36ish. I do the Shibuya crossing. There's literally no one there because no one is awake. 3 things I noticed when I first walked out of the train station in Shibuya. 1, the crosswalk is so much smaller than I thought it was. I don't know why. I think it's just because there was not as many people as like when people post it on TikTok or Instagram, whatever. But it was just a lot smaller than I thought it was. I thought it was huge. Like, I thought it was going to take forever to cross, but it really was just a crosswalk in Shibuya. I mean, it was really cool because it was in the city, and like, that's something I wanted to do. I think it would have been cooler if there was more people. But anyways, that was the first thing I noticed. 2, they were not lying when they said that people sleep on the floors of Tokyo, or even, I don't know if it's all of Japan, but specifically in like Shibuya, people sleep on the floor. I walked out and there was a guy there just sleeping on the floor on the street, like on the sidewalk. And I was like, whoa. And it's a businessman. He's in a suit. But it was just crazy to me. Like, as I'm walking on out of the train station in Japan, my day is just beginning and a lot of people's is ending. Like, they're about to go home and just sleep. Insane to me. So those were some of the things I noticed. People also, another thing I noticed, they sleep on the trains, which I guess the only other time I've ever really used like public transportation like that is here in San Diego, taking the coaster or like the Sprinter, the trolley, the bus, whatever. That's pretty much it. And then the subway station in New York. Both of those things I would not sleep on if I was by myself. Nah. The people in Japan, or at least in Tokyo, like solo riders just knocking out right there on the train by themselves, solo riding the transit, right? And just sleeping. And that was insane to me because I was just like, girl, I'm scared. I'm scared for you. I'm scared. What if something happens? And the craziest thing too is they wake up right on their stop. Insane. It could be because they haven't memorized, I guess, or I'm not really sure, but that was just like something I observed. Which is also, I'll get into that in a second. Let me just keep debriefing. So I get into Shibuya and I'm basically just looking for a ramen spot. So I go and I get a coffee because it's literally 5:30, like 6-ish in the morning. I'm exhausted after traveling too. And so I go and get a coffee, and I literally just ask the guy, and I'm just like, I really want like a bowl of ramen, like a good bowl of ramen. Where do I go? And puts it into my Google Maps, and I walk there, and it's like this really small ramen spot. And you basically go up to like this vending machine, and there's pictures, and you just pick the ramen you want or any toppings, anything you want. You put your yen in, and then a little ticket comes out, and then the server guy comes out, and you hand him your ticket, and then he sits you at a table, and then they bring the ramen to you. Best ramen I've ever had in my life. I was so sad that I couldn't eat it all. Like I got full. It was a big serving, but it was so good. And also, I'm not a pork eater really. Like when I get tonkatsu ramen, I usually put chicken in there instead, or tofu. But I'm not a huge pork gal. But that pork was crazy, genuinely. So I get my ramen. I'm chilling. I'm solo. Like I'm just eating by myself. And then I dip, and I go to the Meiji Shrine, I think it's called, or the Meiji Temple. And I walk around. I'm sweating when I'm walking around because I have to cover my tattoos up. And I don't know if people on the pod know, but I do have like 6 tattoos, I think. All of them are on my arms, and it's summer in Japan, so they were out while I was walking around like Tokyo, where it's I guess okay. But when I went to the shrine or the temple, I covered up immediately because out of respect. Walked there, and then I thought that I was gonna have to board my flight. So I get back to my hotel around like 10-ish, I think. And I check my flight, delayed to 7 p.m. So then I'm like, ugh, like I'm kind of tired. I woke up at 3 a.m. And so I asked the hotel for like late checkout. They were super chill about it. I took like a 30-minute nap, and then I got back up, and I went, and I wanted to experience a taxi. So I went downstairs to experience a taxi, told the guy, oh, where should I go? Like, whatever. I really want curry. He sends me to this spot, and the taxi guy takes me there. Best curry of my life. Insane. I have to like upload like the names of these restaurants because I don't remember them off my head, but I need to insert them somewhere for people to go try, because like really, really, really good food, really good eats, and it's all on my Instagram. Clock it. But crazy food. And then I pretty much just walked around the small little town that I was. I was still in Tokyo, but it was like a little like mini town in Tokyo. And I was just walking around, exploring, doing some shopping. And then I just took the train back, and then went back to the airport and did the rest of my shopping in the airport for all my friends and family. And then, yeah. And then I went back home. But it was really cool. Solo traveling is like a really, really sick experience. I really do think that everyone should experience it once. Just because when you travel with other people, it's a lot more like the things that you're going to do within a group. Like, what are you going to do with your friends? But like when you're solo traveling, I feel like you really, really, really get to like indulge yourself in the culture. I generally just like went head first into it, just took the train and went. I also got to really observe like how people, like their way of motion out there, really truly, and it was insane. And because of like the way that I guess I got to travel around Tokyo, I really, really enjoyed solo traveling. Like it's really cool to just kind of just throw yourself in there, as respectfully as possible, of course, but really indulging yourself in the culture and like kind of just being a part of the day-to-day lives. Like I was taking the 5 a.m. train with the locals. So that was really, really cool. And then, yeah, like just I really, really, really like solo traveling. And again, this is another thing that younger me probably would have never thought that they would experience, especially by themselves. I've been wanting to go to Japan for so long, and not only the fact that I got to go, but the fact that I went on my own is crazy to me. Um, Even if it was just for like a small trip, it's just like that's like a crazy step for me. Truly, like even stepping foot in Japan is crazy. So yeah, would love to go back. Want to explore more of Japan, not just Tokyo. Um, but yeah, crazy experience. And I guess that kind of like is the basis of this episode, is just two things that I got to experience in my month long hiatus, or the things that I did in my 1 month hiatus that really like younger me would have never even imagined. Like younger me would have never imagined I would have such a great younger me. Oh, hold on. Let me log in. I'm like stupid. Like I can't talk. Hold on. Um, Younger me would have never imagined that they would have as good as a group of friends as I have now. I hope that made sense. And younger me would have never imagined that they did a solo trip to Japan, to Tokyo. So crazy experiences. Literally so grateful that I have the opportunity to experience this, and like I'll always understand how like lucky I am to even have the opportunity. Um Crazy. Crazy stuff. Like genuinely can't even like clock it in my brain that that happened. But yeah. Yeah, those are the vibes. Those have been the vibes within the past month, and honestly only good vibes up from there. I'm trying to think what else to talk about though. Love Island? Question mark? Um Crazy stuff. I don't want to get too into it because like I have a few guests that I do want to have on, and I know that I'm going to want to talk about Love Island with them. So I don't want to get too into it, but Amaya Papaya for the win. She probably will never see this, but I love you, Amaya Papaya. Like, genuinely, she really, really represented the emotional baddies out there. Like, the emotional baddies. I'm an emotional baddie. One thing about me is I'm going to be emotional. And I also know what it's like to be told to tone it down, and I hate that. And I love Amaya Papaya for that. What did they call her? Sensitive gangster? Right. 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 Other than that though, those have just kind of been the vibes. Let's move on to the final segment, question mark, of this of the pod. Favorite movie at the moment. I'm really trying to think what movies I've watched recently that have been like, oof, good. Sinners, really, really good. Classic. It's Sinners is now a classic. It's a classic movie. But Sinners is really good. I'm really trying to think of what I've watched recently. I'm really trying to think. All I can think about is Sinners. Sinners was so good. Like it was just Sinners is the is the perfect example of such an intentional movie. Everything is so intentional in there, like, and you can feel it when you watch it. How like you could feel it. Oof, like that was meant to happen. This was meant to happen. This was meant to be. This means that. And intentional movies just get you thinking, and that's why I love them. And Sinners is such a well made intentional movie. That is the movie that I am obsessed with. I probably watched it like 3 times. I love that movie. Like crazy. Soundtrack is great, casting is great, directing is great, cinematography is crazy. And just like the screenwriting on there is insane as well. I feel like especially with those it can get cheesy or corny sometimes, But it was just like the flow of the script was so good, so well made, so again intentional, as I said before, but just a very, very well thought out, well made movie. Incredible. Highly recommend. Excited to see where they stand in award season. Very, very, very excited to see where they stand in the award season. This is, I'm trying to think of like all the movies that have come out or are planning to come out within the past like season. Pretty good movies, I feel like. Pretty good season for movies, I feel like, but I don't know if it will compare to the past season of movies. Sinners is a really good start. Let's hope it just keeps going up from there. But yeah. Also moving on, let's talk about what's coming up for, I guess, my little tiny, very, very small channel. More podcast episodes of V. I am going to be uploading probably tomorrow or the day after. It's going to be my Guam vlog, which I did post on my Instagram, but I haven't had the chance to post on my YouTube yet. But yeah, little Guam vlog that I created is going to be uploaded for sure. I do want to start doing more vlogs, like talking vlogs. I feel like could be fun, ? And then I probably am going to be doing a little short sometime soon because it is film festival season coming up. So I'm really hyped. And then other than that, really just like good vibes, genuinely. What are we at? Like 40 minutes? Pretty good episode. Just a little calm episode, truly. A little recap on my 1 month hiatus. A little sentimental moment. To see how far I've come. Like truly, I really can't express the amount that I have grown within the past 2 years. Like my friends know that I have grown the past 2 years, and I am very like content with the person that I am right now, truly. But yeah, good vibes only, good vibes. But that's pretty much the end of this episode. I really hope you all enjoyed. Yeah, just a really calm episode. I don't really know what else to say. Follow the socials, Instagram, TikTok, subscribe to the YouTube. Oh, I will be linking this. I did want to talk about this actually. A lot of stuff going on in America and in the world in general. I don't have a huge platform, but I do have this, I guess. But these are all topics that mean a lot to me personally. Especially with what's going on in America. I do know a lot of people who are being like affected by what's going on. I did post on my Instagram a bunch of links, not only to educate yourself, but also to educate others and to inform others about the resources, genuinely the resources and like the help that people are willing to provide. Especially with things happening with immigration. This is big. Big thing that's happening right now. Please read it. Please inform yourself, inform others. Yeah, there's some resources that I did list in terms of like, I believe I listed like some lawyers, some attorneys in the San Diego SoCal area. I also listed a bunch of things to know if you are an immigrant, just to know your rights, which is really important. And then also, if you are still curious on what is going on with the ICE raids and the immigration, or even like things going on outside of America with like Palestine and Congo and everything, I linked it all. It's all there. Pride Month did just pass. So I did link some things that have been going on within the LGBTQ plus community and the government, because they always be beefing. So that is also linked. It is in my Instagram bio on my main account. I'll put it on my professional account, I guess, as well. But it'll also be on this video. It's just a little link tree. But yeah, I wanted to speak on that, and I wanted to share those so that y'all know that it's there for you if you need it. But really, like, genuinely, like, stay safe, stay educated. The strongest, most powerful thing that you could be is educated. Read, y'all. Read. TikTok don't count. Check out NPR, like, genuinely. Go like ABC, NBC. Like, don't hit CNN is on some slippery slopes. They're a little too biased. Fox obviously is really biased, so I say stay on the neutral side. Because that's where you get the most, like, good information. Anyways, PBS. Oof, PBS. Anyways, beyond the point. Next episode I'll definitely get into it more. I just, like, off the dome. Off the dome, I can't think. Anyways, that's all for this episode. Check out the links. Stay safe, stay educated, stay chill, fun vibes, good vibes. I'll see y'all later.